What's up, everyone? This is Ben, Falcons Media Corner, back again with a brand new AK After I Saw review episode for today. This one's going to be on a brand new release for 2022, which this just came out today all over around the globe. And I just got back from seeing this film just a couple of hours ago, and I just had a shower and I'm now relaxing, and I'm here to give you guys my views on this new release. So today's review is going to be my review on the 2022 superhero film for the MCU, which this is the newest installment to the series, and that is, of course, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This was directed by Sam Raimi, who has now returned to Marvel since he directed the Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire, and you also may know him as director of horror with the Evil Dead trilogy and Drag Me to Hell. So now he's now directed a new MCU film, but with a new superhero, since you may know him for directing Spider-Man, the original ones with Tobey Maguire. So in this new entry to the MCU, we see Doctor Strange, once again played by Benedict Cumberbatch, is back, but this time he has to protect this girl named America, who is a teenager, and like I said, and she has this ability where she can travel through any kind of multiverse. And what happens is they both get caught up in the multiverse, and we see their adventures in the multiverse, and we see them try to figure out what the hell is going on. And there are some massive threats who are basically after them, and so we see how Doctor Strange has to do whatever he can to protect this girl, while also we see that Wanda is back, once again played by Elizabeth Olsen, who, if you've seen what you've seen her doing in WandaVision, she does that all over again here in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So that's pretty much the story of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, of course, I was really excited for this movie when I first heard we were getting a new Doctor Strange movie. Of course, I really enjoyed the first Doctor Strange. It's a great superhero film. So when I heard we're getting a sequel, I was really excited for this one, and it was great to see everyone coming back for who we all knew from the MCU, as well as having new additional people in this one. And for Sam Raimi directing this movie, I was massively excited for that, because I haven't seen him doing a superhero film since Spider-Man 3. Well, I enjoyed the first Spider-Man movie. I love the second Spider-Man movie, and the third Spider-Man film. There's been a lot of mixture debations all over the internet about that film. But for him as a horror director, I really enjoy the hell out of his horror films. The Evil Dead trilogy and Drag Me to Hell. I really enjoy the hell out of those movies. I love watching them around Halloween time. So when I heard he was directing this movie, I was massively excited to see him returning to Marvel to direct Doctor Strange. And when the trailers dropped by for this new entry, I was, of course, massively excited for what was going to happen with this one. After seeing the last MCU film, which was, of course, No Way Home. And so, like I said, I just saw this today, a couple of hours ago, and my screen was completely packed. Not massively packed, as you might have expected, but there was quite a lot of people there. But after watching this movie, I definitely had a really good time with this new entry to the MCU. Well, I wouldn't say it is as good as the first film. Does this make it as a bad film? No, it is a good watch here. And I still had a really fun time with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Of course, performances all around, everyone's terrific in the film. Benedict Cumberbatch is, of course, terrific as Doctor Strange. Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda. She's, of course, terrific in the film. And for the actress who played America, I thought she was terrific in the film. And Benedict Wong was great, and Rachel McAdams is great. Everyone's great in the film. And the direction by Sam Raimi, I thought he did a great job of directing this movie. For the incredible visual effects in this film, for like the creature designs and everything like that, which we do get to see some creature designs in the creatures in this film, which I thought were really fun to watch. And the action sequences in this film are pretty exciting and fun for the most part. Although there are times where you can tell the visuals, like the CGI, is pretty noticeable. I wouldn't say they're like atrociously bad, like atrociously a mess. They still are amazing to look at on screen for like the whole powers and stuff like that. And also for his directing talent, and for Sam Raimi's directing talent, he does have some horror elements in this film, which this is the very first MCU film to have horror elements into it, which I was really satisfied with. And there are times in the film it is just get pretty much a bit dark and a bit disturbing with some creepy aspects. And there are some times in the film for the action sequences which almost can be a little bit bloody. It may distract some young viewers, since the MCU movies are for everyone out there. This one may disturb some children. It might make them, pee their pants or even crap themselves for any kind of scary thing that pops up on screen. But I wasn't like that, because I was just like satisfied with those moments on screen. And for some surprising moments in the film, I was very satisfied with, since after seeing the trailers. But there was only once one hint when you can immediately tell there was going to be some big surprises in this one since seeing when the official trailer dropped by. But when I saw the final product, when this was released, when I saw more surprises, I was very satisfied with everything for what was going on in the film. And the whole storytelling in this film was really satisfying for what was going to happen after the events of No Way Home, and what we're going to see, what was going to happen with Doctor Strange and all that. I was really satisfied with this whole like multiverse situation that was going on in this film. And I thought the people who were behind this movie for doing all of that, I thought they did a great job of all of that. However, for some other issues I have with this film, other than seeing some like noticeable effects, the pacing in this film, there's a bit of mixture of pacing issues in this film. Pacing does pick up, and there are some slow pacing issues for like some moments in the film that did have me a bit confused, but I did manage to understand for what was going on in the film, which that was a bit of an issue. And the writing in this film, there are some lines of dialogues in this film that does get a little bit cheesy, but for like funny moments, but there's still awesome funny moments that did have me smile, that did have me like have a massive smile on my face and all that. But still, in the end, guys, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I had a really good time with this one. Again, this is not as good as the first, and this is not by any means a bad film. It is a really good watch. If you're a fan of of course you're a fan of this character, if you're a fan of Sam Raimi as a director for like horror, and of course for him directing, Spider-Man, you may have a blast with this one. Although this movie might be a bit of a divisive film for fans of the MCU. Some fans may either be let down with this one, and some may have a blast with this one for things they really expect for this new entry to the MCU. So, and of course, obviously, I do suggest you go and see this film on the big screen if you're a fan of the MCU, and if you're a fan of like Sam Raimi or anything like that. There's a few ways to recommend if you're a fan of the director, this character, or a fan of superheroes, or just anything really involving this film. Obviously, I suggest you go and see this film on the big screen. I'm going to give Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness 3.5 out of 5. Good solid rating for yet another fun entry to the MCU. But again, this is not as good as the first film, like I said, this is not a bad film. It still is a fun, exciting film. But again, I'm just saying this is not as good as the first one in my opinion. But this one may be a bit of a divisive film for those who are a massive fan of the MCU. Some may be even disappointed with this one if they didn't get what they expected when they saw the trailers, and some may have a blast with this one for things they wanted to expect when it came to this new entry to the MCU. You just have to make your own decision when it comes to yourself for seeing this film in your local cinemas. So thank you guys so much for watching for my AKR first review on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So let me know what you think of this new entry, if you have seen this already or if you've just recently seen this. So yeah, just let me know what you think of it. Did you have a blast with this one, or were you disappointed with this new entry? So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews, and as always, this has been Foggins Media Corner signing off.